Okay, we're going to go to the next one, if that's okay. Let's see. Let's look at, I'm going to give you a choice, either E, depth, or H, truth. Anyone have a preference? Okay,
That or which truth?
okay. Well, let's go to depth then. So that will be the blue one. Develop creative ways to reach acceptance. Okay. And then that has 4 aspects to it. Okay.
Just one.
You can be taking a look at the 4 yourself if you've got that printed off. Oh, I'm going to do this one differently.
No.
Okay. No, keep working on what you're doing. I'm just going to divide it up this time. Okay. Larry, I'm going to invite you to look at E1, Jim, E2, Evelyn, E3, and David, E4, and then Catherine, E1 again. Yep. And then Michelle, E2, Pat, E3, Sunny, E4, and Yawo back to E1. And just kind of look and see where you think particularly the one I gave you goes. And if you need to, there, except you can't shift. But anyway, just within the triangles we've got there, just decide where you think it might go. Okay. We're not doing this as a breakout, but we just have a few, 2 or 3 really focused on each one right now.
I was hoping for a breakout with Larry.
Me too.
I mean, we're both doing E1. It makes sense to, you
I
know.
don't know.
Also, Janet, we can't actually edit anything.
Yeah.
So
No, you just-
therefore, we
You
can
just-
type in the chat, but that's about all we can do.
And Michelle, can you send us the breakouts for 5 minutes and bring us back?
Yes, of course. So Catherine and then Larry, group 1, then group 2.
Plus, there's
So
one more in
somebody-
group 1.
Somebody else.
Yeah, that's
is-
me. That's
Yahweh.
me. E1 is
Oh.
me.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Michelle,
good.
Okay.
who is E2?
I am.
James, then
Jim,
I
And-
thought
I
you were
think
with
Yahweh,
me,
yeah.
Michelle.
Yahweh. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
E3.
Yahweh? All right.
E3.
Me,
okay.
Pat.
Pat and
And
I don't
Evelyn.
know.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
okay. So others are E4, right? So that's
Yep.
David and Sunny. And
All right, before.
yeah,
I'm
Catherine,
E4.
where is Catherine?
Evelyn, you're in 4.
Catherine and Sunny haven't been named.
I was
yet.
in 4. Sunny's in 4.
Catherine's in.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Oh, and David's in 4. Okay.
Okay.
Catherine's in 1, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gathering in 1. Yeah. So 4 is David and Sunny, right? Okay.
Yeah. So
5
that means
minutes, right?
that Yahoo is also 1. is I think.
Yahweh is 2 with Jim.
Oh, okay, 2. Okay,
Okay.
good. Okay, we'll see you in 5 minutes.
Okay. So I will
Okay.
give you 5
7 minutes.
plus 1.
7 minutes.
7. Okay.
7 minutes.
plus 1. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you. I'm opening
Very
the
good.
rooms. Thank you.
Okay.
See you soon.
we'll see you.
Yeah.
Toodaloo.
Amy.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay, welcome back. How is that? Did you like chatting?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great conversation, but we didn't put any arrows anywhere. If that's
Okay.
that
Well, we're gonna each, oh, there's some dynamic.
Somebody
One
got
of the
going
other
on
teams
those.
put in arrows big enough for everybody.
Yeah, because we couldn't put arrows, we were on view only. So thankfully we didn't, bump things around until they're not savable.
Well, it could be like primary arrow. That's an interesting one.
Mhm.
Yes, and so the primary link is right here, and then the secondary links. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's get B. We're in the E's. E1. Your quick thoughts, and then there'll be 1 minute to add from anyone else. Okay.
Yahweh and I summoned the spirit, courage, and skill to draw arrows.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, you managed to draw arrows. We didn't. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, was that E2 answering on behalf of E1?
I guess, did I say E2? E1.
No,
Okay.
you said E1, but E2 chose to answer.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
No.
That is freedom.
We will rewind the clock and take you back. E1, where did you put yours? Yeah, I mean, we can see, but why?
Larry, go.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
We had a really provocative conversation. We said that our category is devising practices and rights, and I can't quite read the screen, but there we go.
Rituals.
Devise and practice rites and rituals to accept and celebrate our big reality. And so then we said that the first space of that is around communal symbols and social structures.
Mhm.
How do we discern and discover those that story
Mhm.
and structure so that it can be shared? But then we also realize that another aspect of this is political freedom and secure existence, which is, how do I honor your story without feeling impinged by it?
Uh-huh.
And how do I take the risk of, because we have around the world, we have a lot of locations in which having your own story is both not understood in a collective context and hard to be safe in. And we have other cultures that are exactly the opposite, where if you don't stand in the individual, people can't quite understand why
Mhm.
you don't see that it's just about you and not everybody else. So anyway, did that at all reflect our conversation, Catherine and Lee?
Mhm.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay, very good. Okay, then E2. We see your big arrows.
Yahweh, can you report? I talk too much.
Yeah, muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we point out 5 arrows. The first one identified was the final meanings, because we reflected what we have experienced in the COVID-19, and we all struggled by the pandemic infections, and because of the struggle and the age, we are in the between that need to making choices, life choices. So this is there might be a internal meaning-making process, responding to outside environment, but also have the opportunity for reshaping our own identities. Who am I? Yeah. And the second one is this should be the meaning-making process should be in depth. So social arts create a container for us to reflect, introspect, induce our individually. Yeah. So the social arts is the second one. And the third one will be the communal styles. And James talked about something that maybe James could debrief later. So, however, the communal styles might be, we have discussed, but we don't have the answer. Some of communal styles might be something created new, but might be something that is borrowed from the past,
Mm.
from the heritage. And but this new communal style creation development has to be institutionalized or be consolidated by some of the physical infrastructure. So I thought the physical is we need to be grounded in the daily life. So the exchange mechanism might be redeveloped or reinvented to support the communal style. Yeah.
Mhm.
So James, please updates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
So Jim, she was inviting you to add a piece.
She did good.
And then I only see 4 arrows there.
No, there are two
1,
thin
2,
ones. Energized mechanism and communal styles is the top
yeah,
section, right bottom.
yeah, here, yeah.
Ah, that one. Yes, that one. So
Yeah,
there
so
are two there.
1,
I can
2,
Two.
I can draw more arrows if you want.
yeah,
Then the two
please.
black and the one yellow. That are the different format.
Yeah, here.
Uh-huh.
If,
Yeah.
to
So
help
that's
the rest
4.
of us, James, if Michelle could delete your arrows when she puts her arrows in, that would
May
help
I-
the rest of us see the
May
wall
I-
more relatively.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, good.
Okay. And well, that's happening. I'm going to invite E3 to the table and share their plotting.
So we had a good conversation, but Evelyn, would you like to connect the dots for us? Evelyn, you're muted.
I'm trying to share my screen, but
Yeah, let me stop sharing. Then go ahead.
Evelyn took me into the depths of social art.
Ah,
okay,
So-
so what we did was we looked more closely at the other levels.
mhm.
And under social art, we were drawn to internal reconstruction, which is under interior awareness. And it's on the right lower side. Internal reconstruction is intentional coherence, unified environment, and emotional equilibrium. And then we were also drawn to eventful consciousness, which is the big one on the right-hand lower side. And then again, a reconstructed universe, contentless context, shattering intrusion, and revised context. And we felt in terms of social art, of course, it has to have, we didn't get to this part, but I think the third one goes under radical projection at the top, which has to do with either creativity or internal dialogue. In other words, it has to, the art has to address the situation that we're in order to create an internal change response that brings awareness to not only the person, but the people in community.
Mhm.
And I'm complete. So we need to point to interior awareness and eventful consciousness, and radical projection on the social art, under social art, to connect the E3.
Okay, good. Thank you. it's fascinating to go down, yeah, these other levels and these triangles. So to
Yes,
see what else is there. Yeah.
but because we have view only, we can't draw any
Yeah.
lines.
I
Okay.
already done that, Evelyn. These three.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and then finally, E4. Which, let's read it. I can't, oh, E4, I have it here.
Yeah, simplify our
simplify-
daily lifestyles toward changed behavior.
Okay.
And
yes.
David and I said at our age, we're heavily into that.
I see. Yes.
And then we said that maybe if you were younger, you might find that that really pointed you toward some things in economic commonality, like human resources and natural resources. And maybe for all of us, simplifying our daily lifestyles and changing our behavior is really important in natural resources relative to our climate situation.
Hmm, yes. Yeah.
And then the rest of ours pointed up in cultural commonality to cyclical roles, indicating that at different ages, your the simplification might look different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then in communal wisdom, the accumulated knowledge, useful skills, and final meanings are all sort of pointing into where we're sensing we need to focus, and in order for our what we know and the skills we have to be of use.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very fine. And consumption plans.
we had to get rid of distractions, and we weren't quite sure where to find that except up in maybe final meanings.
Okay. Hmm.
I just thought you could also connect consumption plans, because that,
And the
Sure.
bottom.
yeah,
Mhm.
because if
Yeah,
you
that's very much a
simplify
part
daily
of the preserving of natural resources.
Well, not just that, you remember, who was it? Roosevelt that said every American's job is to consume as much as they can.
Yeah, well,
Bush said something. like
that's
that.
old wisdom. That's old and now phony wisdom.
But the point is, if we don't, then that also has to be part of the plan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, if we shift radically, that, very good.
The shifts are so big.
Uh-huh.
Like when you think about if everybody quit consuming so much, then how many businesses would be put out of being, and jobs would be lost, and families would be struggling. On the other hand, it really points to us looking at economics in a new way. And I really have appreciated that donut economics work as
Mhm.
a way to get a sense of, if not that, then there needs to be something else. And I thought it pointed pretty nicely to the something else.
I can offer an interesting factoid because I've worked with Goodwill Industries. One of their absolute largest issues is the amount of junk that they have to discard in the landfill.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll bet.
People use Goodwill and other such industries to dump.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's the same even in poorer societies. Here also, when we put out a call for food or clothes donation for vulnerable groups, you get quite a lot of junk.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, well, this is, step back and just take a look and see if anything emerges as another aspect of the DE, develop creative ways to reach acceptance. And that part of that acceptance of what's happening, the great transition that we're in the midst of, and yeah.
These books on the great transition, Do they have a book for dummies who can read it in like,
Yeah, I
a
need that
couple
too.
of hours instead of 2 days,
Cliff
Yeah.
notes.
2 weeks?
You can ask for the charts on all the books, then you just read those and you're done.
Yeah, Dwayne Elgin's one chart that lays out the arrows. We used that in one of our first study.
Okay,
Yeah, is a
okay.
good one. And it points me to one of the things you could do is pull together the key resources for each one of these pillars, or that is not only who's doing what, but who's articulating this new dynamic. And as a reading list or papers or something like that could also be a way
Oh,
of
great.
doing
Could that be at the bottom of each column?
Yes, it could be. That's a possibility.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be useful,
We're-
actually.
We're exploring.
Thank you. Because
Might happen.
if I were to invite other people into this group, they have to do some homework.
And we're-
catch up.
That's right. That's right.
I have an observation. There's only one connection to political commonality.
Hmm.
And I see, for instance, significant engagement in corporate welfare. Just, I know it's glaring to me that I don't think corporate order so much, but in a way, domestic tranquility and corporate order, legislative consensus, because so much of what we experience is legislated for us, and then significant engagement. It just seems, in order to develop creative ways to reach acceptance,
Mhm.
those are missing in our analysis anyway,
Mhm.
What we're thinking.
But maybe we can honestly put the arrows from the E, just that statement in the
Ah.
The
center.
big one over
Yeah.
to,
Yeah,
the
to
big-
acknowledge that piece. Yeah.
Hmm.
To where?
Yeah.
Significant engagement up above, yeah. And then domestic tranquility in corporate order,
Mm.
and then legislative consensus, at least, in the Western world. I think political freedoms has already been identified, which is sometimes
Yeah, that's
thinking about
correct.
aligned pressure
yeah.
down there in legislative consensus.
Okay, one more alignment then to
Oh,
legislative.
where? The
E to legislative consensus, or yes, yes, exactly. It's good that we see your cursor.
Mhm. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, it strikes me that developing creative ways to reach acceptance on an interpersonal level is one set of technologies. Doing it at the level of a small organization is a slightly different set of technologies.
Yes.
Doing it at the level of a city or a nation state is a whole different level of technology of what's involved to make that happen, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you for that, pushing that into the political. That's very helpful.
Yeah. Okay, and that's a helpful aspect of this. Where the action happens shifts in those, yeah,
Yeah.
and shift, good.